highlight. Hey, family. How are we at the AEW Revolution? I like the fact we got some new scenery tonight. I think this Dynamite pops really well. I love the logo. I love the colors. As always, we talk all things wrestling. This is just an ATW highlight. We are ATW. But what the freaking fuck? Kazuchika Okada is all elite. He's with the elite and it's fucking corporate. What the hell is happening?
There it is.
Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say something slanderous to you.
Go ahead.
Imagine if they did this earlier and instead had Okada do this in Japan at the Tokyo Dome. And here's the thing: to top it, he not only just turns heel, joins the Bucks, and betrays New Japan, but he speaks full American English, like Hulk Hogan dishing the fans at WCW all those years ago, being Japan's version of that tragedy.
It would be a whole nother form of reality, but I mean, subtly put, we haven't seen Kazuchika Okada heel since his very first run with Gato, let alone the dark nature of his F the Kids run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But now he's truly fully corporate with the elite. And the elite is just the Young Bucks at this point because they fired Omega and suspended Hangman.
Well, you do realize where this is probably going to go, right?
Kenny Omega versus corporate Okada.
No, no, we gotta think bigger.
Bigger?
Yes.
What are you
implementing here?
Now this man is going to do something really crazy.
In 6 months, potentially, maybe 6 months to a year. Okada, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Kota Ibushi. Because remember, Ibushi is still signed and is recovering.
That is true.
You're not wrong.
So WWE's going to say, well, we had the Bloodline Civil War. What do you all have? We have the Elite Civil War.
Yeah. Which the Elite Civil War could play in a lot of factors, knowing all of their history combined.
Yeah, considering how in WWE they just have the one promotion history, and in AEW they have like 4 to 5.
Yep, and you could play the story. The story can play an integral part on all of those 4 or 5 different promotions.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, guys, we need to think short term because, as we know, we have.
I already have short term thinking. This and next week, this will probably be the last time we see Darby Allin one way or another.
Oh man, Eric! I mean,
why'd you bring down the mood, bruv?
Because I need to remind you that Darby is absolutely insane and probably needs to be confined to an asylum.
I mean, in a way, you're not wrong, but can we please try and show a little bit of
hope?
Yeah, that word. Let's go with that.
Well,
my brain's been fried tonight.
We're in the human race, Noah. Hope is not really in our vocabulary these days.
Hey, I like to think that there are some living organisms on 2 legs and 2 eyes and 2 hands, eyes, mouth, and all that stuff that actually have a brain. And I like to think that 3 individuals
I got something that will counter your statement. Have you ever worked at a food place where you had to clean something up?
No.
Okay, since King answered, I'm going to tell him this story I heard. So, Dairy Queen, a manager at Dairy Queen, I know we're going way off.
I'm sorry.
This is a conversation, not full-on impromptu yet. Okay, so at Dairy Queen, some guy got mad at his workers not cleaning the ice cream machine properly. Instead of telling them to get back to cleaning it, he instead spikes their ice cream with cleaning solution to poison them to death.
Humanity again makes me question myself. All right, well, now let's get back to reality and briefly talk about some real good shit. And that's professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. At the end of the day, my passion belongs in the sport, in the showcase.
By the way, Noah, your tweet you made went viral.
What?
Your tweet from a few days ago went viral.
Oh, did it? I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're probably not gonna want to look.
Why do I give a fuck what people say on the X? All right.
No,
dude?
it's more like the harassing threats and telling you that you were clearly in your mother's basement.
Yeah, well, those people also don't know what semen looks like because they can't hit a woman. So you know what?
Of course,
Hey.
that's fair.
Anyway, let's go ahead and focus on positives. You don't know who you're fucking with, bro. The internet community can suck my. Never mind. Anyway, let's go ahead and freaking talk about some real good shit here for a little bit. As we know, we just came off the season premiere, and I figured it'd be nice to do a little bit of ATW highlights. ATW involves, and AEW involves with it too. Shout out to Lex for the new logo. I love it. A little bit of subtle touch there, not quite clean, as again, we do get downright dirty and crazy with our passion of talking professional wrestling and Eric's chaos. But let's go ahead and briefly talk about what folded this past Sunday. Revolution. Was it arguably the best pay-per-view in AEW history? And did we witness the best send-off for a career in legacy for the icon known as Sting? So, honestly, I just want to get some simple thoughts from y'all about your impressions of AEW Revolution. What was your moment, match of the night? And if you have one criticism, what would it be? Eric, you're a guy that blurs the line with the multiverse when it comes to, professional wrestling and the Marvelverse particularly. And I know you also have a lot of hot takes sometimes too. So what is your overall takeaway from Revolution? Go ahead and talk about this, bro.
Okay, it was awesome seeing Sting and his son deciding we are going to recreate history with our looks. For a second, I was almost convinced that blonde Sting was back, sprouting his old look just to go out and go back.
I swear I thought that was Sting. I was like,
me too.
What?
Well, guess what? One of Sting's sons revealed about the aesthetics they went with.
What?
Those are the original gear they wore.
I knew it. Jeff was right. Jeff was right. That's the original dang gear. Jeff was freaking right. Jeff.
Yeah. Also, I saw James's squeamish moment where he saw Darby go ballistic.
That's put in politely. And I saw Lucha Underground Hell of War, and that made look like child's play.
Though, to be fair, didn't flesh get torn off the body in that one?
Yes, it did. It really did.
Whereas Darby was bleeding a faucet in
profusely.
And that still, dude, was a hell of a lot of blood. Again, the reckless Daredevil said he would die for Sting.
AEW was like, okay, Darby, I know you want to be this insane, and granted, we'll give you what you want on this, but can we rehearse this much earlier, get the proper training equipment, get actual professionals who know how to make sure this does not go horribly wrong, and if something does go horribly wrong, the Young Bucks are going to win.
I mean, it's one of those things where, again, you don't necessarily know what's for sure. What we do know for sure is Sting had arguably the best send-off you could hope to see somebody you adore as a fan.
He had let's be real, he had the best send-off since Ric Flair, and Ric Flair screwed that up.
Yeah. But again, Sting is not Flair. And I'm just going to simply say, thank you, Sting. Besides the Sting match, King, do you have any further to add? I know you were talking earlier during our watch-along about how that little watch-along in the theater trip down memory lane as he reflects on Showtime for the final time. It moved you quite a bit. By the way, Darby Allin, bravo the production of that. That was incredible.
It did move me a bit because, I didn't grow up watching Surfer Sting. I was not around that time. I was around with Crow Sting, Wolfpack Sting, and then, TNA Sting, Main Event Mafia Sting, and then WWE when he came aboard, which short run that was, and when he came on the AEW. That moves me because that's another part of my childhood that's retired. But he's one of those ones that'll stay true to his word. Unlike some people for the money, 2018, anybody?
Not go back down that road.
But seeing Sting in his final send off, it was the proper send off that basically it was proper. It was like the best send off that we've seen in professional wrestling because I know I said this earlier in our watch along. I don't care how much hate I get for it. That's the real streak. 29-0. Sting went undefeated. Let's keep that in mind, folks. Sting went undefeated, even though it was in tag team action, but still undefeated nonetheless. 29-0.
That's fair. And also, he retired as a champion. As we know now, the tag team titles have been officially honorably vacated by Darby Allin, and they will determine new tag team champions in a tournament. And so far, we know 2 teams officially. We have Trent and Orange Cassidy, and we have apparently Kid Sabian, embrace the change, and the Butcher. But to talk a little bit more about AEW Revolution, let's go ahead and run down a little bit of what happened during the main card. Respect was finally gained by the boy himself as Eddie Kingston honorably beat Bryan Danielson after planting him with a high stack power bomb. A shout out again to Kawada. Congrats to him. In what was a true fight in Horseman country, FTR channeling the Greats, while we felt a rush from the Blackpool Combat Club channeling Legion of Doom old school style. It was Blackpool Combat Club that overcame FTR as Jon Moxley once again incapacitated a bloody, and I mean bloodied quite literally, Dax Harwood in a rear naked choke. Incredible tag team affair. Roderick Strong dissected Orange Cassidy quite profoundly. And finally, we have a new AEW International Champion, Undisputed Kingdom, with more gold.
And don't forget, Kyle O'Reilly finally escaped the drug lab he was trapped in.
Well, again, a tortured soul. When a soul doesn't know what their future holds, when they feel that they're never going to have a part of themselves again that they've given so much to, that defines them, and you get a second chance, you kind of don't know how to necessarily, put a perspective on it, let alone approach it. So I'm very happy to see Kyle O'Reilly back, and I'm glad he's going to do things on his own to get back to where he was, because arguably before he got injured, he was on his way for an AEW World Championship.
Yes, he was.
Being perfectly honest. But yes, well said. Also, of course, during the 0 hour after Chris Statlander with Nightingale beat Sky Blue and the Julia Hart, great tag team matchup, by the way. The bastard also said he's making his return because he's like a cockroach. You cannot freaking nuke something that won't die. Also, visas are a thing, and visas can't even hold the bastard down. Go figure. Anyway, with that also being said, damn that patriarchy! Christian Cage was able to retain the TNT Championship against Eric Garcia. Shut up, King. And also in the 8-way scramble, meat on meat action, and then we went to fin cuts and then more meat action as Wardlow planted Dante Martin and won his chance for the AEW World Championship. And of course, Samoa Joe still holds the AEW World Gold after Heyman's vendetta against Swerve caused both men quite literally why Heyman willingly, let's put it out there, willingly tapped out to the Coquina Clutch. In what was a match of the year candidate, once again, by only this man, as he always can deliver, Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Takeshita went to absolute strong style war, and Ospreay almost lost his fucking neck. Goddamn these two idiots, goddamn. Once again, King, damn it, your timeless era continues while the virtuosa tapped her out behind the red back. Thanks to that butler. Shut up. Thanks to that butler as Motley Crue cosplay Mariah May with all the distraction running got booted for her troubles. Storm Zero connected and Tony Storm remains undefeated against the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. That was the first time she faced the virtuosa and she barely escaped. Guarantee it won't happen again. And of course, in what was truly the main event, Showtime for the final time, Darby Allin and Sting defeated the AEW EVPs in what truly was a family and friends effort, because the only thing that's for sure about Sting is nothing, except now we can say thank you. And he retired undefeated as a tag team champion. I'll get credit where credit's due. The EVPs put me through a hell of an emotional roller coaster ride during that entire charade of a match. I'm glad to see that Darby and Sting won. They gave us the right call.
Here's the thing, though. We can at least agree the EVPs did one good thing. They kicked Ric Flair in the face.
All right, Eric. Now you're just drawing the line. All right, seriously.
Okay. Anyways, also there was another thing that came out about that match.
What?
Okay, so Sting was like, have the Young Bucks beat me. Let them go over. They earned the rub. They definitely should have their run with the titles again. And then Tony Khan is like, no. You need to go over. This is your moment. And then the Young Bucks came in and told Sting, this is your moment. You're going to go out being a champion and being a winner.
The reverse Hogan. That's the reverse Hogan.
At the end of the day, it wasn't about the titles. It was about honoring the man known as Sting. Steve Borden.
And also, okay, you were talking about how childhood heroes of yours were now retiring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess who has apparently made the announcement they're planning to commit to next year?
Oh, no. Are we talking about Foley?
Yeah. I shall lose 100 pounds, and I shall enter one last match, entering the Death Zone. And
guess what? Come over to AEW. That's where you're gonna find it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: who would be his opponent? Will he finish the story he was supposed to do with Jon Moxley? Will he pass the torch of insanity, homicidal recklessness with Darby Allin? Will he put over the future star Swerve Strickland, or will he have a gory, destructive death match with Hangman Adam Page? Or will he just play it out with Bryan Danielson, and then they'll be arguing backstage about who will be the one that goes over because they're too damn selfish for their own good sometimes?
Or other for, all we know. But again, that's business to come. But speaking of business, let's go ahead and briefly talk about big business.
I do have some business update from AEW.
What?
So AEW has basically declared the 4 Pillars a complete failure after everything that's happened and are calling for a do-over. So so apparently they have a new set of generation wrestlers to help that will forward the company into the future. They got Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita, Hangman Adam Page for some reason, even though he's kind of their president, and Swerve Strickland.
Well, I can agree with 3 of them, but I think you should add Daniel Garcia to the fold because Daniel Garcia is the story.
Oh, yeah, Daniel Garcia's on the list.
Okay.
And Orange Cassidy.
That Orange Cassidy's unbelievable, man. Again, 13 defenses during his last run.
Two-time AEW champion.
Instead of relying on the 4 Pillars, they're now saying, okay, we're going to get 6 statues, hopefully. 6 monuments.
At least, and more to come. And again, we got big business next week, and it seems that something's going to go down in Boston that's going to definitely be worth money. And of course, as we also know, a lot's to come. We got Wardlow versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. We got Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart, I believe.
No, Riho.
Or Riho, sorry. Again, my brain's all over the place. Botch. Riho. And we also, of course, have Darby Allin versus Jay White. And based on what we saw tonight, I think Darby Allin's going to remind Jay White exactly who he was and who he might need to be if he wants to be a true.
I think he did already at Revolution.
Yeah, it's just that was just weird seeing Jay White with that type of Jay White's just weird right now to me. This is all weird.
Well, to be fair, here's the thing. Here's the one thing I'm hoping Darby does when hopefully he survives Mount Everest is that for All In, building up to All In, Tony Khan assigns him a massive job to do.
Oh Lord, what?
Darby, for your mission, if you choose to accept this, I need you to produce a short film with Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné.
Oh, God.
Now that will be epic of a Tony Award. A Tony Award that I will be attending Saturday night on Coliseum.
She tapped out. The Virtuoso tapped her out.
No, because Aubrey did not see. Aubrey did not see what happened. Okay, so that does not get
involved for no reason.
Luther did his job, and of course, if Tony did not tap out, she didn't tap out by record. So therefore, Deanna was the one that took the pinfall with Storm Zero, and therefore, in the record books, it shows that Tony Storm has beat Deanna Purrazzo for the AEW Women's World Championship at Revolution.
Also,
speaking of
Deanna Purrazzo and Tony Storm and Maria May, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
I keep thinking AEW was like, okay, we need to go ahead and keep building up Mariah May or Maria May or whatever the pronunciation is. Mariah May.
Yes.
We need to do something. We need an idea to really showcase the insanity of us. This is all. I mean, like besides Tony Storm trying to be Marilyn Monroe reincarnated.
You're about to say you took the words out of my mouth.
And then I think finally Tony Khan finally did. I think Tony Khan stole a WWE idea.
And what would that be?
He played Road to WrestleMania and Mickey James playlist.
Yeah, I was saying,
with the whole look-alike thing.
Yeah. Now she's literally Tony Storm, literally giving her the shades and the wardrobe of the Motley Crue character, which I know for sure pops you like nothing.
And now it's on shop.aew.com.
Of course it is. And again,
so King, are you going to buy it for some reason?
Get back to me in 4 weeks.
All right, and as we also learned, a new pay-per-view has officially been added to the AEW schedule.
I demand HBO Max now.
So do I.
Keep praying, guys. Keep praying, because it sounds like they are going to that monthly cycle, because now this brings them up to 9 without the Ring of Honor one. So AEW Dynasty, Sunday, April 21st from St. Louis, in the shadows of where the NWA usually holds their anniversary here, in a city rich in professional wrestling history. A dynasty to be created in All Elite Wrestling, Sunday, April 21st, the day after TNA Rebellion. And I love the fact that this pay-per-view graphic has nothing on it but the current AEW champions. It does make me wonder.
Like a Night of Champions, Clash of Champions type feel?
Exactly, my friend. And this might literally be nothing but a championship affair.
So a AEW take on Night of Champions?
Yeah, well, again, Clash of Champions was a WCW property, so I mean...
Yeah, though, to be fair, WCW's Clash of the Champions were given away for free.
Yeah, but this is 2024. Nothing's for free. You know that.
Yes.
So we'll see what Dynasty brings. And as we wrap up this little highlight on the season premiere of Dynamite, let's go ahead and talk about tonight in the set. First off, I love the aesthetics here. It just feels, even the action felt much more intense, high octane. We went full throttle. It was a very unique, callback to the original Rainbow Explosion, but still had that varied double-sided dynamic. And the fact that the tunnels are back warms my heart, because I think the tunnels is the greatest standout in the industry for an entrance. So first off,
by the way, I'm just gonna say this. It's probably gonna anger certain people, but AEW seems to at least understand the whole messy paint gimmick, because at least they could say, well, we're Dynamite, we're supposed to explode into a mountain of colors. That at least makes sense, as opposed to 2.0.
Oh,
2.0 was red, green, and bright blue paint splat on a white canvas without rhyme or reason. All right,
whereas AEW Dynamite operates under explosions.
Yeah, and explosions can be controlled, and to a degree, this feels pretty controlled to me. And I also like the dynamic logo with the vibrant primary bleed through on the letters. Again, it feels new again. You talked about a lot before, King. We started the feeling. I think tonight's season premiere of Dynamite definitely restored a lot of thoughts, especially with the fact they just got Kazuchika Okada full heel corporate.
Oh, by the way, King, people have been clamoring for AEW to come back to Texas.
Oh God.
Yeah. No, he's not wrong, because what does my second state, what does my border state have to do to get an AEW pay-per-view in Texas?
Well, I have a solution.
Oh Lord, he's never gonna hold out for this.
One of two solutions.
Go ahead and lay it on me, bro.
This should be interesting.
Where did the balloons come from? Anyways.
Right. Oh, what did the balloon say?
Yeah, I don't know. Solution number 1. You vote Greg Abbott out.
Hey, trying to get political.
Or we can just punch him, but that probably would cause problems.
Well, CM Punk says the best way to solve a problem, real men punch people in the face. So, I mean...
Yeah, also, okay, I could be wrong, but I read on the Twitter timeline that AEW does plan to go back to Texas.
These are one of the hottest markets, quite literally.
But there's the flip side of that coin.
What?
We hear AEW will return to Texas, and let's see, 10 months from now.
For the love of everything that's on this earth.
I mean, hey, I'm still waiting for them to come back to Ohio, so you both can shut up knowing that they're going to Canada.
Well, here's the thing.
A.
Also, AEW is insane.
Eric.
That's an understatement of what you just said.
I'm glad he said, not me.
Well, to be fair, I'm just going to point this out. AEW is about to commit what should be considered a war crime, aka we're going to commit national seppuku.
The hell are you talking about, bro?
Huh?
Okay, basically the Japanese art of committing suicide by cutting their stomach open.
What are you trying to instigate?
What? Huh?
Okay, let me try to explain what I mean. Basically, AEW is like, okay, we're going to tape a Collision episode and have it air the same day as WrestleMania Night 1.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Oh, yeah. That's why Tony should... That's why Tony should pull out all the stops. I don't care about the ratings. I don't care about that. That's why Tony should just go out.
I already told you I don't give a fuck about ratings at the end of the day.
This is what I said. Warner Brothers, TNT, just air Collision on Friday or Thursday even. This isn't even going to be fair. This is a slaughter. This is like picking on a child.
At the end of the day, that's what DVRs are there for. So if they want to watch WrestleMania, if they want to watch WrestleMania, let them watch.
This kind of contradicts Tony Khan's statement he made, where he said, "I will not want to compete with WrestleMania." That is just beyond freaking stupid.
Well,
but that's Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
that's Warner Brothers Discovery. That's not really on Tony.
Yeah,
that's really
that's what I mentioned on the timeline. I said, you do realize this is a TNT Warner Brothers Discovery issue, not a Tony Khan's insane on drugs issue.
Yeah, they can't play Fast and Furious or Central Intelligence or King Kong vs. Godzilla during that 2-hour span. They have to have a tape Collision, whatever the fuck.
But yeah, I was just like, you're gonna air a taped episode Collision where the spoilers are gonna come out. I'm like, look at what happened to Rampage because of that.
Well, either way, people are gonna watch what they want to watch, and I guarantee you this: I'm still gonna watch Collision. So
same.
Just maybe not during that time if I'm covering WrestleMania.
Also, is anyone getting WWE 2K24?
I'm getting it this weekend.
Yeah, I already ordered the digital deluxe edition because the physical copies were really going to come at my store. But I got it. I'm currently playing it. I'll be playing it after this video. They have begun the process of erasing Vince McMahon from history. Hurrah.
I mean, again, when you are put underneath a microscope of such heinous acts that there's no point of return and you need to cover your asses as far as corporate business goes, is what is in that case. So take care of business, and I'm sure AEW will take care of business next week. We also know Adam Copeland's back, and Adam Copeland will challenge Christian Cage for the TNT Championship and I Quit match in Toronto in 2 weeks. And based on tonight, I also wonder if Statlander's questioning her own morale. And at this point, if Willow beats Rico next week at Big Business, what does that mean for Chris Statlander when Chris Statlander is trying to get back for the title? So I think there's also some interesting developments coming up in the women's division. I think a DMD will see us again very soon, too. So, again, a lot coming forward to AEW. And as we close this out, WrestleMania is on the horizon, guys. We're on the road, too. We're getting near the end. And this Friday, we have TNA Sacrifice, headlined by Moose and Eric Young. In Ali We Trust.
Sacrifice anthem to bring back Scott D'Amore.
If only they could, bro. If only they could. Jordan Grace defends the Knockouts World Championship against Zaya Brookside and Tasha Steelz in a triple threat. Things are heating up in the Knockouts Tag Team division. Wouldn't be surprised if someone was booked this Thursday night on TNA Impact. And again, tonight's Dynamite was just balls to the walls, insane, crazy emotion, and some fun stuff, and definitely some things to think about as we ended with a face-off with the American Dragon and Will Ospreay. We'll have to see what happens. But that being said, that's a solid note on what we talk about here.
Oh, wait, I just realized something.
What?
So, if Okada's part of the Elite, that means he left Chaos. So, what's the best friends going to do?
Ooh, good point. That is actually a good point.
Or is Chaos going to be like split down the middle as well?
I would think that Chaos would do what Stardom did lately with their factions when you got Micah and Mina Shirakawa together with something called E-Nexus V. I think they split and go into their own ways because right now, Chaos without a leader and the United Empire, someone has to step up And
there's
again,
only one
to your point,
person. There's only one person I can think of that can step in to control the chaos.
they control the chaos. You're right.
Who would that be?
Good luck.
We need Tomohiro Ishii at this point.
He's probably the only guy serious enough to do that, but I also wonder how much he has left with the wear and tear on his body. God bless him. I'm just saying. He's getting up there, like Minoru Suzuki.
And Hiroshi Tanahashi, and New Japan's kind of in crisis mode.
Yeah, because he's injured. In fact,
Well, and they're losing like everybody.
Well, but they gained someone in which.
That wasn't really a game. That's more like a oh god.
We don't talk about that here, okay? We'd rather talk about Bruno than that.
Also, I have destroyed your plan, Noah. We're over 30 minutes.
Well, damn it, Garrett. You had to always do some sort of stupid chaos, especially since one of my favorites is doing her own thing, but she's not on my screen in the wrestling ring. Take care. That being said, folks, this has been the ATW View highlight. I don't know if we're going to do this again as often as the ATW View Impromptu, but we'll see. This is a fun chat. But I felt after the season premiere, after Sting's send-up, and the fact this guy's not only elite, he's fucking corporate with the elites.
RAINMAKER!
Jesus Christ almighty, a dark rain has fallen on All Elite Wrestling. What the fuck does this mean going forward?
And the new AEW theme song is already out for download on bandcamp.com.
And Mikey Rush is with another hit, simply put. Until next time, I think we'll reconvene closer to WrestleMania week when we're going to die based on what we talk about, what we're going to watch, because there's a lot of shit going on in this industry. But for now, let's see what unfolds at Big Business. And until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in to this simple ATW View highlight. We are ATW. We acknowledge, appreciate, talk about, criticize, and at the end of the day, just look at all things wrestling too. And until next time, as I always like to leave everybody with, especially these yahoos, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. Dynamite was definitely far more than just all right. And we are ATW. Have a good night, folks.
Yay, Allie.
Timeless era begun, and we will continue to live in a timeless era.
Look, I made sure we didn't do it for the 50th episode, so I had to save this.
You fucking suck.
Yeah. But you keep us around.
Somehow, by the grace of God, I do. We are ATW. Good night, folks.